Hey everyone, it's Chris and welcome back to The Ridge. Well, this is the updated 2025 version of our most viewed video ever. Since that video was released, we've grown lots more plants and have a lot more experience under our belt. We've had some big wins, made a few mistakes, and learned a ton along the way. In this video, we'll show you exactly how to grow tobacco in a cool climate from start to finish, plus all the tips, tricks, and lessons we've learned. Join us!
Sweet Maple Ridge Farms. Come on down, everybody. Go!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And a special thanks to our junior, mid, and especially our OG Maplers, plural, who help continue to take our community to the next level. Now, we're going to pop into this original video that I made, and we're going to get into it. I will interject as necessary. Enjoy. And also, guys, make sure you watch to the end. I got a coupon code for 50% off some sweet Maple Ridge merch. Growing tobacco is really easy, and we're in the Appalachian Mountains, and we had no problem growing it. The first thing you need to do is get yourself some tobacco seeds. Now, I got mine online from leafonly.com, but you can get them anywhere you want. Getting the seeds to germinate is by far the hardest part of growing tobacco. Once you have your seedlings started, it is a breeze. Tobacco plants grow like weeds, in my opinion. The reason it's hard to get them to germinate is because the seeds are as small as a grain of sand. So if they're in any way buried in soil, they're not going to get the sunlight, they're not going to get the warmth, they're not going to get the water, and they won't germinate. So you have to use seed sowing mix. It cannot be potting mix. It has to be seed sowing mix. You can get it at Menards and you can get it at Lowe's. You can get it on Amazon, but it has to be that. Do not be tempted to get potting mix, garden soil, or potting soil or anything like that, because I promise you the seeds will not germinate. You can only use soil starting mix. Trust me, I know from experience. Next, these are the 3 mandatory items you need. First, you need a seed starter tray. Don't get the one that is made out of peat moss where the trays are biodegradable, whatever. No, these need to be plastic. You also need a spray bottle that has a fine mist setting. And finally, some grow lights. And you can see the ones that I got off of Amazon. They work just fine and they were under $50. Do not think that you're going to get these seeds to germinate just from sun shining through a window. That's not going to be enough. It's not going to work. All right, one last mandatory item that you need is a heat mat. Now, optimal germination for tobacco seeds occurs pretty much right around 78 Fahrenheit to 86 Fahrenheit. That's 25 to 30 Celsius. Now, put your soil in each of the cells. Now lay 2 seeds on top of the seed starting mix. Do not bury them because they will not grow then. Then mist them with your spray bottle with pure water. Make sure your water doesn't have chlorine in it. Do this 2 times per day. Also, make sure that your grow lights are no more than an inch or 2 off of the soil because, again, these seeds need a lot of help in germinating. If you do all of this correctly, you're looking at 7 to 14 days before you have actual tobacco plants. Once they start growing, this is what they're going to look like. And you're going to be really happy. You're going to have your own tobacco. And it's going to be super easy. And we're going to be on to the next step. Look how great these look. Once they start getting about this big, every now and again, about once per week, I will start giving a very light solution of Miracle-Gro with a watering. And I only do this once per week. And you want to make sure that it's very diluted because they can't handle a strong solution of that. Keep the heat mat on and keep the lights no more than 1 to 2 inches off of the plants. Once your seedlings get to be about this big, they're going to be outgrowing the container. So that means it's going to be time to transplant. Here's a Virginia Gold tobacco plant we just transplanted. You're ready to transplant when daytime temperatures are at least 65 degrees, soil temperature is at least 65 degrees, and the nighttime temperatures are no colder than 50 degrees. Once you've dug your hole, add 1 teaspoon of organic fertilizer and 1 teaspoon of bone meal into the hole. Then cover with dirt. Then on the top of the soil, add another teaspoon of organic fertilizer and another teaspoon of the bone meal. Then water this in with half-strength Miracle Grow and half-strength Alaska fish fertilizer. This helps to minimize transplant shock. Also, be sure that the danger of frost has passed. Frost will kill your tobacco plants. So these tobacco plants need full sun. There are no exceptions to that. I'm not aware of any tobacco plant that doesn't require full sun. These tobacco plants need sun beating down on them for a good part of the day. And because of that, we need a lot of water. Make sure you water them 2 times per day. And we use straw, as shown in the picture, to maintain soil temperature. If you don't water them, they're going to droop, just like a tomato plant will. Don't let it get to this point because you're only stressing them out. Not a lot of things are going to kill these tobacco plants, but slugs will, so I want to mention that really fast. Last year was a really bad year for slugs, and we've heard from other people that they were having slugs invade their garden also. So you can see the white powder that we sprinkled around the tobacco plants, and that's diatomaceous earth. We sprinkled around that around each plant in hopes that it would kill the slugs, and diatomaceous earth is typically used for that, but we didn't have much success. You can see the plant where there's little holes in the leaves. That's from slug damage. The slugs, they crawl up the stem and they will eat the plants. At least they have with us. So we Googled and found that Sluggo was a possible cure for this problem. So we bought some Sluggo granules off of Amazon and we sprinkled them on the ground right below the tobacco plants, and that seemed to take care of the problem. Your tobacco plant should start to be looking like this. So what you want to do in order to make sure that they get the nutrients that they need is to sprinkle on the soil right by the stem 1 tablespoon of bone meal and 1 tablespoon of organic fertilizer. And then sort of massage that into the soil. Then you want to water that in with full strength Miracle Grow and full strength Alaska fish fertilizer. I mix that up in a watering can and then water in the bone meal and the organic fertilizer. So if you follow these instructions, well, your plants are going to start looking like that. They'll start to grow stalks and flowers, where you're going to have a stem start coming up with a flower pod start to form. Now, you're going to want to break that off. Let me show you that. So you need to break off the stalk that produces the flower. The reason why we do this is because we want it producing tobacco leaves, and we want it putting all of its effort into making big tobacco leaves, as shown here. We don't want it putting in effort to make flowers or seed pods. So you have to break that stalk off, and you can see what it looks like once you've broken it off. Now, you need to find your best tobacco plants, the best specimens that you have, and allow one of them to flower, because that's where you're going to get the seeds for next year. If you allow one of your plants to flower, and I would suggest picking the best one, you never have to buy seeds again. Next, if you're doing this right, your tobacco plants will continue to try to grow stalks with flowers on the end of it continuously. So you are going to have to watch these plants and break off any sign of any stalks where they're trying to grow flowers or seed pods. It's harvest time, everybody, but you don't want to harvest too quickly. You want to make sure that they are ready to be cured in your shed or your garage or whatever. So this is what we call the crocodile markings, but that is not what you want. You want to let it go a little bit longer than what we have here. So what we have in the next slide is what you want it to look like when it's time to harvest. All right, so this is what we have so far. I'm just picking the stuff that looks like crocodile. It's supposed to be unseasonably hot the next couple days, and so I figured, why don't we use that heat to our advantage and all that. So get some really nice, the camera's really making this look green, but this really is gold, nice golden color. So a couple things are eating on it, but That's another reason why I sort of want to get it picked. So we're going to keep on getting it. All right, so another reason I want to just go ahead and pick this is because it's looking a little bit rough, y'all. This is Canadian bold, this, and then like the next like 5 plants. So this stuff is still flowering. It's definitely taken longer to, we're gonna pick those actually. I'm just cutting these. It's taken a lot longer for the Canadian bold to start to yellow. The stuff that was in the garden that we just picked, all that right there, is Virginia gold. And that stuff obviously is looking good. So any of this crocodile stuff, we're just going to go ahead and pick it. We're going to wash it. And then we're going to hang it over there in our shed. All right, so this is the Virginia bold that I planted. Now you can see this stuff has really gotten big. I'll show you this leaf. You know, here's my shoe. So it gives you an idea of just how big these leaves can get. But you can see they're starting to get that rust on there. I'm not really sure if they're 100% ready yet. They're starting to turn yellow. They have that crocodile look to them, but I don't want them to get any more disease than what they already have. So I'm probably going to pick the ones with the rust on them. On the other hand, this Virginia gold, these are all full of seeds. You can just hear them rattling in there. I'll try to pick that. All right, so there you go. See, each and every one of those little brown things is a seed. So look how many, each brown thing, pod, I guess, holds, I don't know, like thousands of seeds probably. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. But, all right, so now what I'm gonna do, is now that we have all this, I'm going to take this back to the house. I'm going to spray it off. And then I have a bunch of metal wire and we're going to hang it. Stick around. Stick around. All right, so I have it all laid out here. Some definitely more gold than others, but that's all right because we're just learning. Some of this looks, I think, really good. We're just going to wash it off real quick. We're in a drought right now, as you can see the grass. So we're gonna not use too much water for this. All right, everyone, so we're here at the hanging location. You can see we do already have some stuff. I'm hanging here. This is just stuff that I've sort of had no choice but to pick, but it smells incredible. I mean, it smells so good. This Sweet Maple Ridge says it just smells like leaves, but I think different. But anyway, we're gonna fashion something up here because we got a lot to hang. And so I have some wire like this. And so that's what we're gonna do. All right, day 2 of the tobacco. Hung this. We hung this yesterday, right? No, we hung this Monday. We hung this Monday. Today's Wednesday. So it's starting to look good. I don't think that this is probably going to be enough distance between, but I don't know. Maybe it will be. It's definitely going to shrink. You can see I had all this hanging, and this really shrunk. It's good. It's dry, but it's the perfect weather to dry this because this stuff is just like leather. It's dry, but it's so humid out. I mean, it is like 110% humidity out here. But, so we got that. This stuff is all looking really, really good. And then we got this over here. So all this All right, part 8 is about making the chewing tobacco. Now we have a how to make chewing tobacco video, which is a Levi Garrett copycat. I will post it here on the video. Also, I will link it in the description. But I will say this video has had really great success, and it's turned out really well. I really enjoy the product that we came up with. All right, folks, that's it. We fact-checked ourselves, laughed at ourselves, and hopefully redeemed ourselves. The Vice Division of Sweet Maple Ridge takes its job pretty seriously, and, now we can officially say this is the most comprehensive guide to growing tobacco in a cool climate on the internet. Case closed. But before you go, a huge thank you to everyone who stuck around to the end. You're the real MVPs. And as a way of saying thanks, guys, I went ahead and set up this coupon code for 50% off. 50% off Sweet Maple Ridge merch. Yep, that's half off, 50%. But here's the catch. The code can only be used a limited number of times. So don't wait. Smash the link in the description. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to put a link in the description. I'll put it right here on the screen. Go to that website, grab yourself some gear, and wear it proud. But seriously, guys, we are thankful for each and every one of you to support the comments and the laughs. And honestly, even the roast, because, we're all learning, and, if we can't laugh, sometimes, that's a bad thing. So keep them coming. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's the video. If you want to be an OG Mapler like these amazing folks listed here, and want to continue learning how to rely less and create more from high atop the Allegheny Plateau, please like and subscribe. And guys, we'll see you next time, out on the ridge. Real quick, guys, we just launched the SMR General Provisions Company, our official store for all things Sweet Maple Ridge. Every shirt's designed by me right here at the Ridge, and they're built around the real-life work and chaos we show here on the Ridge. Each shirt represents a division of Ridge life. We got the Maple Division for our sap haulers and our syrup boilers. We got the Vice Division for our tobacco growers and plug makers. Of course, we got the Lower Camp Division for those folks who are here for the fun and foolishness that we have down at our favorite place to unwind. From our YouTube channel homepage, click the store tab, or you can click the link in the description. Here, I'll show you how to do it. So what division will you be a part of? Because around here, every division tells a story, and your purchase helps to rep the channel and support our movement. We appreciate everyone, and we'll see you out on the Ridge.